Hi and welcome. Hola y bienvenidos. My name is Señora Dee Dee, and I'm the founder of Spanish for Preschools and Español para los Niños, Spanish for Children. Yo soy la dueña de Español para los Preescolares y Español para los Niños. Before I begin, I'd just like to tell you just a little bit about myself. I'm the proud mother of 3 beautiful children, and based on my own educational experience, I determined very early on that I wanted to offer my children the very best education possible. I'm sharing that with you because that's the same energy and enthusiasm, or entusiasmo, that I bring to Spanish for Preschools. I hope that you will enjoy this online presentation, and please join me at www.spanishforpreschools.com. Adios! I've always had a love for the Spanish language. That love was further fueled when I was blessed with an opportunity to live in Spain. There I became immersed in the language, the people, and the culture. With my knowledge of Spanish, I was able to freely interact with the people in Spain and explore several regions of their beautiful country. It was an experience that I will never forget, and it's what makes me so passionate about what I'm about to share with you. Allow me to go back just a little further. I'm a graduate of Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire, where I pursued Spanish as a part of my major. It was there that I first encountered the Rosius method, developed by Dartmouth professor John Rosius. Professor Rosius is known throughout the world for his lively, energetic, and sometimes over-the-top method of teaching foreign languages. He's passionate about teaching, and I am so blessed to have been a recipient of that teaching method. If you haven't had the opportunity, please feel free to check him out online. But the point is, he is dramatic and engaging. At Dartmouth, you don't have the opportunity to sleep in a language class, and you do not daydream about what you're planning to do when you leave. From the moment that you enter the room, you're compelled to interact with the teacher and other students in riotous moments of fun. That's the Spanish that I learned to love, and that's the Spanish that I wanted to offer to my students. And so, I went about to adapt this Rosius method for my preschool, elementary, and junior high students. In our Spanish classes, we may be loud. There will be laughter, but there will most definitely be learning. More than numbers and colors, more than how to tell time in Spanish, our goal at Spanish for Preschools and Español para los Niños is to bring Spanish to life. Geography is taught, culture is taught, world events are taught. Simply said, we bring the benefit of an Ivy League education to your children. Why is Spanish important? Well, one of the many reasons is that learning Spanish makes kids smarter. For years, it's been thought that teaching a foreign language to preschool-age children would be futile. However, recent studies have indicated that the best time for a child to learn another language is in the first 3 to 4 years of life. Perhaps Professor Rosius put it best when he explained that the mind of a child that's been exposed to a second language is at a distinct advantage. He or she sees the world dually. Red is no longer just red. It's also rojo. Just take a moment and imagine how important it is in life to be able to look at a situation from different perspectives. The world as we know it today is no longer single-faceted. We must examine problems and situations from several perspectives. Current world events demonstrate that we really cannot afford to only know what is going on in our own backyard. We need to know a little bit about the world around us, too. Different languages, different people, different customs. We need to develop a global approach to our present and future problems. The fate of the world is in our children's little brains. That's scary stuff. So, why teach Spanish? Spanish is the second most spoken language in the world, second only to Mexico. That's right. There are more Spanish speakers here in the United States than there are in Spain. Incredible, right? Perhaps, but it's true. Here in the United States, Spanish is the most common language spoken, other than English, of course. And according to Humberto Lopez Morales, the General Secretary of the Association of Spanish Language Academies, by the year 2050, the United States will be the largest Spanish-speaking country. If that's so, we have some work to do. Foreign language teaching should begin when children are in preschool, when teachers can maximize a child's willingness and ability to learn. By the time a student reaches high school, the optimum learning period is lost. I agree with this statement wholeheartedly. Not only do I teach Spanish to preschoolers starting at the age of 2, but I also have the opportunity to tutor high school students. By virtue of the fact that they are much older than age 2, they're obviously more intelligent. But by the time that I have to get involved to tutor them, they are no longer absorbent. It's kind of like Play-Doh. If you leave it exposed to the elements without constant manipulation, it will eventually harden. The endless possibilities of the once pliable substance is now reduced to only one possibility: a lump. It's now difficult to manipulate. Defenses are up. The pores are no longer eager to receive new information. They fight against this foreign language intrusion into their world. Without exception, I have to begin each tutoring session by breaking down the barriers that they've built up against the language. Maybe you too have had some not so great experiences with learning a foreign language in school. Then you know what I'm talking about. Young children do not put up a fight. They want to learn. I remember one of my motivations when I was in school, and I wanted to learn a language that my parents could not speak. It was like my own secret thing. The problem was, though, I had no one at home to practice with, though. So I used my dog, Jasper. I know, you're probably laughing, like my students do when I tell them this. But after a while, when I used Spanish to ask Jasper if he was hungry, he would run to the food bowl. And when I used my Spanish to ask if he wanted to go outside, he would run to the back door. This is a true story. Anyone can learn Spanish. It's just easier when you're a young child, or a dog, as in Jasper's case. It's all in how it's communicated. Perhaps some of you have a Spanish-speaking teacher on staff. That's fine. Your children are probably picking up some language skills from that teacher. But they will learn faster from a teacher who they identify as the Spanish teacher. When we arrive at your school, there is no doubt why we are there. And your children know too. Our agenda is focused on one mission. We teach Spanish. We don't have to serve lunch at 11:30 or supervise nap time. Our mission is clear, and they are ready to settle down para aprender el español, to learn Spanish. Every healthy child is born with 100 billion brain cells, and each cell makes up to 20,000 connections. Whether these brain cells make connections or whether they die depends on if a child lives in an enriched environment. By offering Spanish in your curriculum, you are offering another layer of enrichment and countless opportunities for the child's brain to develop. Look at it like being offered a piece of cake. Let's be honest. Which cake is more appetizing? Spanish is like frosting. It's all in the presentation. Enough said. Learning Spanish will help your children learn English. That's right, I said it correctly. Studies have shown that students who are exposed to a foreign language perform better in English as well. They score higher on standardized tests like the SAT and IQ tests, and they're better at problem solving and more creative. And knowledge of Spanish can boost English vocabulary. The reason why is simple. Many of our English words share the same root as Spanish. It comes from Latin. Why might that be important? Well, picture them one day college-bound and taking the SAT test, where they're called upon to read a passage that, say, references an arboreal monkey. What? They may not know what that kind of monkey is or where he's from, but our students will know that this particular type of monkey resides in trees. By studying Spanish, the child naturally understands the English language better, which will serve him better on SAT tests and other standardized tests. Not only is Spanish fun, it's also easy. Children's brains are naturally wired to adopt a new language, if we catch them while they're young. It's much easier for them to learn a new language than an adult who's trying to learn for the very first time. And Spanish is the official language of 20 countries in the world. Close to 500 million people in the world speak Spanish. I could name them all, but why bother? My students can name all of them, and their capitals.
Caracas, Venezuela, Bogotá, Colombia, Quito, Ecuador, Lima, Peru, La Paz, Bolivia, Asunción, Paraguay, Santiago, Chile.
Did I mention that Spanish for Preschools is serious about education? Learning Spanish will better equip them for the future. There's no question about it. Employment opportunities will be greater for those who can understand and speak more than one language, and the travel opportunities will be limitless. Don't just take our word for it. According to the Harvard Business Review, offering a foreign language is one of the top 3 ways to help children succeed in life. If you think about it, there are only a few things that you can do in your child's preschool education that will impact their future. However, learning a foreign language is by far the most significant. Okay, so maybe you agree with me, and the rest of the world, that Spanish is important. But why should you offer Spanish to your students? Well, as you know from your business, there are many more women in the workforce now, and there's an increasing number of single-parent families, so the demand for childcare has grown. It's almost to the point where there's a daycare or preschool on every corner, and they're filled with children. Yours is a very competitive marketplace. Every school will cover the basics, as mandated by the state, but with so many schools, your profitability will depend on 2 things: your services and how well you market those services to parents. If I could speak as a parent for just a moment, when I was looking for preschools for my children, I paid very close attention to the curriculum that was being offered. And assuming similar costs for the schools, my money went to the schools that offered the most. That's common sense 101. Providers should put their energy into improving their program's quality and better communicating the benefits of their program to parents. Competing on the basis of price alone is a losing strategy. Competing on the basis of quality has a much greater chance of long-term success, and it's better for the children too. So, here is your formula for financial success. Happy children plus happy parents equal happy bottom line. So, how can Spanish for Preschools help? With over 15 years of experience in offering Spanish to young children, we arrive at your site ready to teach your children Spanish while they have fun. We do crafts, we read books, we dance, we sing. We have learned to listen to the children, and in turn, they listen to us. They hear Spanish vocabulary that is based on the proper Spanish that they'll be taught in their later school years. It may seem strange, but on occasion, even native Spanish speakers have a hard time in high school Spanish, because even though Spanish may be their native tongue spoken at home, there are several dialects and variations. Our curriculum is primarily based on the Castilian Spanish, as spoken in Spain, and as they will receive it in high school. By offering Spanish at your school, you will have a distinct advantage over your competitors. It's no secret. Schools that offer more have more students, and in turn realize more revenue. But what good is having an advantage if you don't tell someone about it? Increase your enrollment by sharing with your parents all the benefits of your school. Emphasize Spanish. We will help you to market the uniqueness of your center by providing you with customized newsletters for your students to take home and show their parents what they've learned. Showcase your children's new skills by inviting your parents to an open house. Show off their crafts. Invite a special guest, say Señora Dee Dee, to entertain the children and their parents. It'll be fun for all, and most importantly, it'll show your parents that you sincerely care about the educational welfare of their children by offering a revolutionary approach to Spanish instruction. Through Spanish for Preschools, your anticipated result is increased enrollment and increased revenue. We fully understand that this is a business and your bottom line is important. With that in mind, we offer a high-quality Spanish instruction program at a low price. We have several instructional models and offer several options. You can schedule once a week, twice a month, monthly, or only for special occasions. We will work with your budget to expose your children to Spanish. Spanish for Preschools and for your older students, Español para los Niños, has a lot to offer your school. Contact us directly at SpanishForPreschools@gmail.com. And for listening to this presentation, you are entitled to a special bonus. Take advantage of our Hispanic Heritage Month special to try us out. We can come to your site and spend 40 minutes for only $40. And if you choose to offer lessons through us, we will apply that $40 towards your first class. There are no contracts. We don't believe that education should be complicated. It's simple. Try us out and see. You have nothing to lose, and your students have a lot to gain. If you'd like to see for yourself what we can offer to your students and your school, sign up today for a test drive by clicking on the screen and pay only a $20 deposit. We will call you back within 24 hours to schedule a date that's convenient for you. Act now. This special discount is only good until the end of Hispanic Heritage Month, October the 15th. We hope to hear from you soon. Hasta luego, Señora Dee Dee.
Adios, amigo, adios, my friend.